Hey girlies, it's Tatiana here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to create this beautiful Christmas nail set. In today's video, I'll be using the following items to create this Christmas nail set. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my website for all Pink Plush nail products. I'll be also using Nail Guru products, which I've linked her Instagram above, Young Nail products, which I've linked their Instagram above. So let's get started. I'll be using Young Nail's acrylic powder for this set. I began by starting my acrylic application after the nail has already been properly prepped and primed. First, I dip my brush into the monomer and wipe off any excess to control the liquid ratio. Then I begin to pick up the medium, well-balanced acrylic bead, not too wet, not too dry. Remember this, girlies. I place the bead slightly away from the cuticle, allowing it to self-level for a second before gently pressing and guiding the product towards the cuticle without flooding it. Remember, this is just a pat and pull method. Try not to be too aggressive with applying the acrylic onto the nail with the nail brush. This makes a difference. Once the cuticle area is smooth and thin, I use the belly of my brush to pull the acrylic down towards the free edge, making sure the product is evenly distributed. I focus on building structure, making sure the apex is in the right spot for strength and balance. As you can see here, I'm now applying the mixed acrylic from Nail Guru's product line, and I am doing the exact same methods that I did before. However, as the acrylic begins to set, I lightly pat and smooth the surface to eliminate any bumps and create a clean, even foundation. I repeat this process on each nail, working one nail at a time to ensure consistency and control. Always remember, girlies, taking your time doing acrylic application is the key because this step determines the shape, strength, and overall finish of the set. Once the acrylic has fully dried, I'll move on to the shaping and refining before we get into the design process. So I originally wanted to create a blue Christmas set or maybe like a red, but I ended up going with a pink Christmas set instead because of course I'm overly obsessed with the color pink, and of course it matches my business name, but it came out really cute. I try to be as creative as possible with every person that I've done. So, this was one of my favorite nail sets that I've done throughout the years. And of course, you're going to see towards the end, it came out so nice. If you haven't gotten a chance yet, girlies, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you follow all my other social media forums and check out my website. I have a Pink Plush acrylic brushes, Pink Plush nail kits, and much, much more. And for my YouTube channel, I'm on the road of 500 subscribers. I currently am in the hundreds, and my goal is to at least get to 500 subscribers by the end of March. So make sure you like, comment, and share, guys, and follow all my social media pages. So I completed my colored acrylic application, and then of course after I placed my clear acrylic powder on top of it. And after I completed the entire acrylic application, I went in to reshape, ease out, and buff the nails to create a smooth, clean base. And this is how they turned out. Very, very, very cute. Now I'm ready to start the nail art for my Christmas set. So let's get into it. So for this particular set, I had so many different ideas that I wanted to do, but I ended up deciding on doing a French nail for this particular nail using the A method that I've talked about in my previous videos because it gives like a clean, crisp, type of nail set, and that's what I was going for. So after that, I hand draw some snowflake. I did a bow and other Christmas details, which I will explain about and talk about. Some things to know for nail art is that you need to make sure you have a smooth base, you work in thin layers, use the right brush for the design, which I like to use a super thin nail brush. It just works for me, which I'll link down below as well. Make sure you cure as you go and make sure you keep your designs very balanced. I know some people like to apply a top coat and then they like to draw. Depending on the type of set I do either or. But for this particular set, I just went into it and just started to draw, and then I used my thicker brush to fill in anything that I needed to complete, or anything that I felt like was missing. I filled it in with my thicker nail art brush. Also, depending on the gel polish that I use to draw or especially do French, I always like to layer it with a second top coat, which you'll see me do as well. But always remember, girlies, practice makes perfect. It took me a while to accomplish and be satisfied with a long French nail. So it just takes time, but that A method really, really, really helps. And if you're a beginner or someone that's looking to improve their skills, I would recommend to continue to practice. Also, if you are looking for a in-person class or a online class, I do offer that outside of my YouTube channel. So make sure you look on my website, or I leave usually my email or my phone number down below. So don't forget to book with me. For this look, using my thin nail art brush, I'm going to draw a thin line in the center of the nail, and then using my thicker nail brush, I'm going to fill in the blank space. Once I complete that, I'm going to cure it in the LED light for 60 seconds. And if I haven't mentioned, I do use the Kiara Sky nail lamp. It's just my preference. I've used it for years. However, there are several other LED lamps that you can use. So just use whatever you feel is best for your nail business. Next, for my next nail, I'm going to draw curved lines on my French nail. This look is kind of like a Christmas look. It's very different, and I thought it was really cute when I looked online. But make sure you use a very thin layer and you cure the product so it doesn't move. So I usually do like 3 to 4 lines, and then I cure it, and then I do the other side the same way. Please forgive me if I do my nail art out of order. This is just what I do. Depending on what type of nail art I do. I go back and forth in between the nails. So please forgive me if it's a little confusing. But now I'm doing the snowflake. So I'm drawing a line diagonal and straight, and then I am putting dots in between them. So this was the look, and it came out really cute. So I'm going to cure that as well. Next, I'm doing my other finger, and I'm drawing a line in the center of my mixed acrylic nail to begin the bow. It looks like a Christmas bow, which it's really cute. You have to make sure you draw like a thin rectangle, long square going downwards to achieve this look. It is not easy, but as you start to practice and do it more, it will become easier as you do it. So, girlies, I'm completing this step on both of my fingers, and of course, I'm trying to be as precise as possible. Next, I'm going to draw a horizontal line a little bit thicker in the center of the nail using the same method. Trust me, I know it looks very hard, but you got this. You just have to keep practicing, and then you'll achieve the look. So, this was mine after some time. Now that I've completed the body of the nail, which is a vertical and horizontal line, I'm now going to begin to draw the bow. Basically, you want to just draw two oval shapes on the left and the right side of the bow. And then at the bottom, you're going to draw a squiggly line similar to an actual bow. So this was mine, and it came out so cute, guys. Now, for the snowflake, girlies, you want to draw a horizontal line, a vertical line, and two diagonal lines. And then you're going to draw a line upwards on both sides, creating a snowflake similar to this, which it came out so cute. So I didn't get an opportunity to record every single nail for you guys, but I tried my best to record as much as possible. But as you can see now, I'm applying the top coat with my not polished top coat, and I'm curing the nails in my Kiara Sky LED lamp. Once I've completed putting the top coat on all my nails, I am completing the final touches of this nail set. So I did decide to add a charm in the middle finger because I felt like it was a little plain. So that's what I did. And on the pinky finger, I did add a 3D nail art. So I added a couple hearts and a couple of dots, and then I put clear powder on top of it. Once I did that, I did cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds to give it a more 3D look, and it came out super cute. Okay, girlies, so this ended up being the final look. Super clean, super cute, and it's such a pretty Christmas set. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what designs you want me to do next. And don't forget to check out my nail classes and to check out my website of all Pink Plush products. See you later, girlies.